Hey everyone, it's me Lem. Today I'm just gonna be talking about my favorite character from Mushoku Tensei. His name is Orsted. If you've read the web novel or read the manga at least, then you probably know who he is. But you won't get most of this unless you've read the web novel up until the end. So heavy spoiler warning alert. I've also finished like all of the all of the spin-offs for Mushoku Tensei, including the main web novel, of course, just like 2 weeks ago. But for some reason, my memory is fuzzy about Mushoku Tensei. Of course, it isn't forgettable. It's just that my memory is just really bad. So, Orsted, Dragon God Orsted, my loopy boy, the Dragon Boy, the Cursed Child, that Orsted. He's the guy with white hair and yellow goldish eyes. He's one of the seven world powers, basically the seven strongest people in the world, in Mushoku Tensei, of course. And Basically he has two curses. Actually, I think yeah, it's two. One curse is basically his mana. Whenever he uses magic, you know how mana regenerates? Basically, his mana regeneration is just two times, no, more than 100 times slower than everybody else's. But that actually comes in with a handy ability where basically Hitogami can't see him, and he can also use time loops. Yeah, he just, oh, I didn't beat Hitogami this time loop, and then he tries again. He's tried so much that he knows exactly how the future will play out. Like he knows every single person in almost every single person in the world. That basically when he first met Rudy, since Rudy was like a reincarnated person, Orsted was just like, oh my gosh, this this man isn't supposed to exist. And then he punches a hole through him because yeah, I probably need to explain that. Basically, Rudy, Ares, and Ouijerd are coming out of the demon continent. They're in like the lower dragon jaw or something. I think it's on the way to the central continent, and then basically they're traveling. They're through this random valley, and then they pass Orsted, and then like the curse of Orsted, the one where everyone hates him. Uh oh wait, oh god, I haven't explained that curse yet. Basically, the other curses, everyone just is incredibly afraid of him. It works on everyone except for Hitogami himself, Rudius, reincarnated people, and Rudius's children. Okay, now that that's explained, basically Ares, Regerd, and Rudy were traveling in this valley to get out of the demon continent into the central continent, where all of a sudden they encounter Orsted. And then Orsted goes, yes, monkey. And then Regerd and Ares are like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna kill us. This guy's gonna kill us. And then Rudy is like, hey, how are you? And then Orsted is just like, hmm, this my curse isn't working on this man. Uh, And then he asks Rudy if he's like an apostle of Hitogami, and then Rudy's like, "Oh, I've heard that name before." And then Orsted, just no questions asked, punches a hole through Rudy's stomach. And then of course Ruijerd and Ares try to defend, but like Ruijerd just literally he goes into the sky because of one of Orsted's hits, and then Ares just gets knocked out. I think no, she doesn't get knocked out actually. She almost gets knocked out, and then Rudius has a hole in his stomach now, and one of his friends is just like, this guy might not actually be an apostle, so let's just keep him alive for no absolute reason. And then Orsted just goes, okay, and then revives him like nothing happened. Bruh. And also, I think that, yeah, that's the end of that part. And their next encounter was like a few years later. I think it was 5 years later, or 6 years. Probably even seven, because Julius already had three wives at that point. Um, Basically, Hitogami appears in Rudy's dream. And then Rudy's just like, PogChamp. And then Hitogami goes, your family is being targeted by Orsted himself. And then Rudius Rudy's is like, oh my, I guess I have to fight Orsted now. And then he fights Orsted, and then you know how everyone keeps saying that Rudius's mana pool like is better than Laplace's mana pool. Yeah, basically he fights Orsted with his super overpowered like armor. I think they named it magic armor. And then guess what happened? He lost his he ran out of mana. That's just how overpowered Orsted is. I mean, of course, there's the huge handicap where where his mana like consumption rate is very high, and he regenerates mana super slow. But he's still super strong. He just doesn't. Sometimes he doesn't even use magic. He just punches people and they die immediately. But this is the case because Rudy is obviously the main character. And Rudy is basically he's now lost an arm, and he's biting on Orsted's foot because he can no longer walk and he's exhausted, but he still has the power of friendship and his sheer willpower or whatever. And then Rudy is just like, don't kill my family. And then Orsted's just like, what? You have a family? And then Rudy is just like, Hitogami told me that you'd kill my family. And then Orsted just goes, bro, he lied. He's capping. Bro, I'm only trying to kill him. What a normie. And then Rudy's like, what? And then Orsted goes on to explain about how Hitogami was actually the bad guy. And then Rudius also realizes that Hitogami is actually the bad guy because of all the things that's happened. And yeah, and then Orsted is like, become my subordinate, and Rudius is like, hell yeah. And then Orsted gives Rudius this like random gauntlet thing, which makes it that has the dragon god symbol on it, which basically lets makes it so that Hitogami can't appear into Rudius's dreams, and so that Hitogami also can't interfere with them. And then he gives Rudius this like random magic circle that's used to summon like magic beasts so that they're safe against Hitogami. And then yeah, that's basically it. Nothing really relevant to the plot happens with Orsted in the rest of the time after that, except for when they like recruit people for stuff, and when he killed Water Emperor Rada, and I think it was North. No, basically they killed Auber and Rada, which were I think North Emperor and Sword Sword Emperor, and then like one time Orsted is like, go to this one country because this country is uh relevant to defeating Hitogami in the future. And so Rudius goes there, and then he meets, and then basically the situation in the country is people are afraid of the suburbs. And then no, never mind that, never mind, scratch that. Basically, the situation in this current country is like, mm, oh, there's this big forest at the side of this town, and for some reason people are seeing demons come out of there. It's super scary. Everyone, let's go ghost hunting. And then some of them never come back alive because invisible wolves. And basically, whenever someone dies, they blame it on the suburbs. Then Rudius is like, I wonder what kind of people they're talking about. And then he hears, and then he goes into like the forest itself, and then basically he meets up with Regent, and he's like, these guys aren't bad. And then he reports to the king, and he's like, hey king, can you like make it so that you guys won't wipe out the whole Suppered race? And then the king goes, okay. And then Orsted visits as well, because why not? And then, oh yeah, there's also this really cool part where basically the Supper children are throwing their playing balls at Orsted because they're curious, like, why is this guy just standing here with a weird helmet? The helmet is also used to suppress his curse. Um, and then Orsted just catches the ball and immediately throws the ball back at the kids. And then the kids are like, let's try it again. And then Ruijerd gets better from this like sickness. I don't remember what that's about. And basically the kids play with Ruijerd again. And then Orsted is just sitting there, lonely, very sad. And basically, this big war arc happens where Rudy, Ares, I think Sylphie, Ghislaine, and Sandor, aka Kaman the Second, fight Kaman the Third and Ogre God, which were actually like the knights that the king sent with Rudy to like quote unquote investigate the village to see if it was safe or not. And then basically they have this whole fight. Everyone is worn out, but they eventually beat Kaman the Third and Ogre God. And then and yeah, Ogre God becomes one of their subordinates. Kaman the Third also becomes Orsted's subordinate. And then for some reason Body Gotti is in the fighting armor with Gisu, and the two of them like are going towards Julius, and then all of a sudden another war arc happens. It's not really a war; it's just a one-sided beatdown. And then basically Atofe and Orger God help them, and then they just get immediately wiped to another continent, and then everyone else just loses consciousness. When Rudius regains his consciousness, he crawls back to the village, and then he just sees. I think it was like, and then there's just Body Gotti that's sealed by Orsted himself. He's just everyone just fights Body Gotti and immediately gets defeated, and then Body Gotti's like, I am strong, I'm gonna beat Orsted now, and then Orsted just goes, nope, I'm the second of the seven world powers, and then he gets sealed. Body Gotti's cool about it. He's a cool guy. Not as cool as Orsted. I mean, that's basically it. He doesn't really do anything much except, of course, defeat Hitogami and help Rudy a lot. But those are like basically the most important times when he's shown. Um, yeah, that's the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe, join my Discord server. Uh, comment down below which character would you like me to talk about next. I have a few thoughts, like maybe Zanoba, Cliff, maybe Barigari, but I'm not really that knowledgeable because I've just, oh yeah, Sieghart, probably Sieghart or Sylphie, because like I just finished Redundancy, Jobless Oblige, and ODT, and the Roxy Get Serious manga. All of those are spin-offs, by the way. I'm gonna link those in the description below. So don't forget to subscribe. This was Lem, and enjoy your day. Bye. Hey, post-editing Lem here. I just noticed the number of times I said the words basically and the words and then are just so much. I'm cringing right now.